taking them down.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with New York Giants legend and South Carolina Hall of Famer Corey Miller and his son, four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys are excited for another fun one here on the show. I feel like we've been rolling and having some fun here lately, man, whether it's breaking down tape, getting some more guests on here, just like we're doing today. But first, I want to give a big thanks again to Clint Lamb. Joined us yesterday. If you guys missed that, make sure you guys go back on our YouTube channel, any podcast platform that you guys may use. You can listen to yesterday's episode and hear the interview with Clint. Again, Clint from Cover Crimson does a great job, and he's now going to join us every Tuesday at the top of the hour. So you guys requested, we listened, and of course we enjoyed it as well. So now we got Clint joining us every Tuesday. That's going to be exciting. So if you missed it yesterday, go back and check that. But today we got another guest. This time it's a little bit different. We're going to take a trip down memory lane in a little bit. We're going to talk to one of the most exciting Alabama players of recent years, one of probably the most popular amongst favorites here, in my opinion. I think everybody knows who this guy is. Crazy Tony Brown, goes by AP3X now. Does a lot of good stuff, and we'll talk about that here. But he will be joining us at the top of the hour. I'm excited about it. Me and Tony go way back, all the way back to one of my first visit here, but I think it was my official visit. And we definitely got real close that evening. Pause, but you'll find out why. I'll talk about how that went, and I'm sure you guys will get a good laugh out of that. But anyway, we're going to dive into a number of things with Tony, his journey, how he ended up here, his process here, the NFL, and then what he's doing now, what he's kind of doing outside of football. He's got a lot of big stuff that he's working on, and so we're definitely going to ask him about that, get his thoughts on it. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this. I know for a fact you guys are going to love it. He'll be joining the stream at 12, so make sure you guys are ready for that. In the meantime, we'll talk some football up until then. We got plenty to talk about. I know it's a bye week. Things are a little bit slower because we're not really prepping you guys for a game this week right now, but we always can go back and review, look at what we've done up to this point, some other stuff like that. We'll definitely do that. Maybe listen to some clips. I know we do have the teleconference today. However, with Tony coming on, I don't know if we'll be able to get to that. If we do, cool. If not, we always have tomorrow. That said, that's kind of what we've got on schedule for today. We'll talk ball like we typically do. Then at 12, we'll welcome in Tony, and we'll have a good time. Just trust me, you guys are in for a treat, man. You guys are in for a treat. And I forgot to mention, we still do have the tape and everything. So if you guys have any questions that you want to see, right? Just like yesterday, we took a look. Ended up probably doing an after stream for the most part, but we took a look at the running game. A lot of questions about that. We talked to Clint about that. We went ahead and pulled the tape up on the stream, and we were able to kind of diagnose some of the things that have been going on. I think we came to a conclusion, right? Lack of execution at times, failing to get good push initially, just little details that can be cleaned up. But then there's a couple times backs not pressing or hitting holes the way they should. But it was cool. We got to do it together here on the stream, so we can always do that. If you guys have anything that you want to take a look at, we love to dive into that as well. Don't forget about our friends over at the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. GoodFeetKickForCash.com is the website. They're doing basically it's a special, right? During the home games here, you get an opportunity to win cash for free, right? Free cash. You get a chance to win that. All you got to do is head on over to GoodFeetKickForCash.com. Sign up. Just takes your phone. No, not even your phone. I'm sorry. Your name and your email address. And that's it. And you can get signed up. If you get selected, you get an opportunity to kick some field goals. If you make them, you walk away with cash. If you don't, you still walk away with a free gift from the Good Feet Store. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, unless you're a little nervous. But don't be, right? It's just kicking field goals. I'm sure you guys can do it. All right. That being said, go do that right now. GoodFeetKickForCash.com. And check out their store, too, if you need some arch sports. Good Feet, right there in Midtown Village is where you can find them. Again, that is the Good Feet Store. Improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. Sorry, guys. I'm a little all over the place this morning, trying to get everything set up, trying to do this, trying to do that. It's one of those days. But we're rocking and rolling here on the show. Chase, were you watching Alabama a good bit back when, me and Tony were playing? How much you know about Tony?
I know a little bit about him. It's kind of crazy. He's an interesting player. I'll say that. He definitely was an impact player. When I did watch Alabama back then, it was interesting to learn more about his story, which is very captivating. And I'm actually excited you're getting him on, especially how versatile he is, especially when he got to the NFL. I think a lot of people just kind of didn't really follow him as much, but then the more he kind of spoke about his journey, I think people really related to him, and that's why he's so special here to the Crimson Tide. But yeah, back then I watched a little bit about him, kept up with him.
Yeah, man. Well, you're in for a treat. I'll tell you that much. I got to start it out with our story from. Granted, me and Tony met before this, right? Because we attended camps and stuff like that. Like we were out in Oregon together for the opening. That's how it used to be with recruiting. I'm not sure if it's still the same. I'm sure it is. I know guys get to know each other, especially on like visits. But like when I was getting recruited, when we used to go do these because first you had the Nike Spark Combine. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Some of our younger listeners might have attended some of these. Maybe you sent kids there. But it was called the Nike Spark Combine, right? And they traveled around the country, and they held basically a combine for high school football players. And you would do 40. There's like a med ball throw, vert, all this stuff. But it basically was like a quote unquote combine. And if you tested well, but here's the thing, guys. I think they already had an idea who they wanted to extend invites. The whole thing was if you had tested well, right, you had the opportunity to get the invite to the next stage, which is the training camp, which was like skill-based, like football-based, right? Not just a combine. It was actually doing drills and whatnot. But they knew like they were going to end up inviting like the recruits anyway, in my opinion. But I think some guys that maybe weren't big recruits maybe still got an invite. But I think it was kind of already set like, all right, we're holding this combine here. We already know we're trying to get these recruits from this area here. They're pretty much going to get the invite regardless. And then there might have been a couple other guys. But I think that's how they're doing it. But anyway, shout out to my high school coach, Coach Bacon. He's actually coaching high school up in Greenville, South Carolina now, right near my dad's church. But man, he used to be on it when it came to recruiting. He had all of us signed up. So we went up there, and I want to say the one that we did might have been like Rock Hill or Charlotte. It wasn't in Columbia, but we went up there and did the whole Spark Combine. I got invited to the training camp and all that good stuff. I say all this to say you got to meet so many people during these things because I met a lot of guys at the Combine. But like I've mentioned, there was, buku amount of kids, and most of them, just kind of were there. When you got to the training camp, it was pretty much a lot of recruits. And the one I had to go to was in Charlotte. I got to meet a lot of guys I still, know to this day. One guy ended up playing linebackers at Stanford. Yeah. And played in the league and whatnot. But anyway, I say all that to say you meet all these people. So I met Tony before, but we really got to know each other on my official visit. He early enrolled, and I don't want to jump the gun too much because I'll let him tell the story. But he early enrolled. It was him. I want to say it was him, David Cornwell, if you guys remember Cornwell, played quarterback from Oklahoma. Who was their other roommate that early enrolled? Man, I think there was one more. But anyway, they were all here on campus when I got here. And so they were in charge of when we all came on our officials. Because back then, I say back then like it was that long ago. It was a little bit ago. But during that time, you might have had like 20% of the class at most early enroll. Everybody else, we all came in the summer. So when we were all coming on our visits, they were already here. They were in our class or our age. So they kind of, showed us around and did all that stuff. And me and Tony, we went out and he was showing me around. He introduced me to some of his friends, his new friends that he had made. And it ended up being a very eventful evening. So I'll definitely let him he'll tell that story a little bit more here in a minute. Plus, if you guys do have any questions, you can always drop a question here in the chat, or you can always download that Tide 100.9 app and leave it there as well. And we will try to get to it right here on the show. That being said, let's do this. Let's stay on schedule. I don't want to jump the gun and start telling too many stories. We're going to hit a timeout. We come back. We'll start diving into some football, and we'll gear up for Tony again. Top of the hour, he will be joining us right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. Be right back.
The Home Depot has everything you need to turn your home into a beacon of holiday cheer. So whether you're going all out or just adding a few holiday touches, we've got you covered with trees, yard decor, and more. Save time decorating with one of our easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees, or pick up a piece from our Yuletide Lane decor collection and fill your yard with holiday joy. Whatever your style, find everything to get your holidays started at the Home Depot.
Planning a tailgate in the quad before the big game? Watching with friends at home? Sack the stress of what to serve and make Foosackly's part of your game plan. Whether you want to roll on through the drive-thru or order from the Foo app, we've got you covered. Our hand-battered chicken fingers, house-made sauces, and gallons of fresh squeezed lemonade are the perfect play call for your party. So before kickoff, remember that football starts with Foo. Foosackly's, proud partner of the Crimson Tide.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of the Pen, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, the Pen is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the
All right,
Prostate
sorry, I'm
Cancer
trying to get
Foundation
all
for
this
potentially
stuff,
towards real fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
With Taco Casa, it's not really fast food because it's made fresh every day in the store. The quality hasn't changed.
Get all
The
this set up,
consistency
sorry.
hasn't changed because they haven't changed.
Any points you guys want us to hit? ¿Qué lo que compacts? ¿Cómo has estado? Let me send this over. G Bam, I see that Panthers logo. You a Panthers fan too? Let's see. All right. Just said that. Chris, during your time at Bama, did your team have to face an opponent who fired their head coach? And if so, how did Saban and the team approach that week? That's an interesting question. Man, I'm trying to think, man. I'm sure we did. Just trying to think off the top of my head. Honestly, not too sure off the top of my head. I have to think on that. Let me think on that one. If you guys haven't, man, go ahead and hit that like button. Hey, and if you haven't, do this too. Share the video. If you guys have anybody you think would be interested in this this interview, man, go ahead and share that. That always helps out too. Let me think on that though. We played somebody who fired their coach. I mean, I'd imagine so, but I don't know off the top of my head. A good question though. Talk about all over the place. That first segment, man, I couldn't even get anything out. So what happens when you're trying to do a million things at once? You think we're going to get a totally new look with LSU? I do know. Sounds like my audio changed. Check. Does that sound good? I want to say, I mean, I think they have a different play caller, so I mean, stuff will probably look a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you still got the same personnel. I don't think anything would be too drastic. It's a little late. I mean, if you're talking about completely scrapping everything, definitely a little late for that, but might get a little bit of a change up with some of the looks, but I don't think it'll be anything. Yeah, it sounds a little bit different. I don't know why. Oh, wait, let me see. I might have hit something back here. Check. How's that sound? Wait, I can just go on the stream and hear it myself. I think it sounds pretty good, no? Still sounds off. Oh, like you're saying it's using my computer audio or something like that? Oh, Lord. I feel like I just listened to it on the stream. There's a buzz sound in it. Well, my mic did come out for a second, but it's bad. It's good now. Maybe you guys are behind a little bit. How's it sound right now? Sounds good? All right. Yeah, I was about to say, I know it unplugged for like 2 seconds and it went right back in. So maybe that's what was causing it. I don't know. Good. All right, cool. Sounds good. Appreciate you guys. Good deal, man. Where should we start with? I'm trying to think. 'Cause I want to say there were some interviews yesterday, but I don't want to just hit interviews right away. We don't have to. Let's see, though. Let's see what we got here. At least I think there were. Maybe there were. I know that the teleconference is today. He goes on at 11:30, but the problem is, I guess we could dial in and listen to it live.
53 degrees in Tuscaloosa. This
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody is doing well. All right. So in the meantime, again, 12 o'clock, top of the hour, we will be joined by Tony Brown, former Alabama defensive back and current NFL defensive back. And he's also doing a lot of other stuff, and I'll let him dive into that here in a minute. So we are waiting for that. About 30 minutes or so, we will do that. In the meantime, we'll talk a little bit of football. Now, I do know that my mic might sound a little bit different real quick. I need to, probably mess with some of these settings here. But we'll rock and roll because I know you guys can hear me. That's all that matters right now. So I'll get that figured out here in a second when we hit this next timeout. All right. That being said, yesterday we talked about some of the things, I guess, that we've seen out of Alabama. Our expectations, are they a national title favorite? We asked Clint his thoughts and asked you guys. And I think the common theme here, guys, was I believe Alabama is definitely trending that direction. Definitely one of the top teams. We looked at the offense, right? We dissected the offense. What do we think about the offense? We dissected the defense. What do you think about the defense? And I think we came to the conclusion, right? We're right there. I don't think any of us concluded that, hey, we're where we need to be just yet. But when we look at this football team, what we've been able to do, how we progressed each week, when we look around the country, we're right there, and we're obviously going to continue to make progress there. But what's interesting was we had that conversation yesterday, and I feel like a lot of people are probably in agreement that, look, Alabama is one of the teams to beat, without a doubt. And I don't think this comment necessarily refutes that. But I don't know if you guys saw this, but I did see Joe Klatt. He had some comments regarding Alabama, and it was comparing us to Ohio State. And it was interesting. Chase Reed, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he felt a little bit different than I felt, right? To me, I feel like Alabama, Ohio State, Indiana, in my opinion, I feel like we're all kind of in a similar realm, right? I know Ohio State looks really good. I understand why they're the number one team. Indiana as well. But I think the balance is, while there are some things about Alabama that needs to be cleaned up, I also respect the fact that we've been battle tested. And there's probably going to be some things that show up for us that might not look as great as some of these other people because they haven't necessarily been tested the same way we have. But to Joel Klatt, allegedly, I don't think he even cares about that because his comments were he doesn't even really feel that Alabama is even in that realm with the likes of Ohio State. This is what he had to say. Here's his quote. He says, if you did just like a side-by-side comparison with Alabama and Ohio State, how they're built, the way they play defense, not even close. The margin between the number 1 team in the country and the number 4 team in the country is actually kind of wild. So some interesting comments. In my opinion, I feel like that's a little bit stretched, right? I do agree with them. Ohio State's defense looks really good. And we know Julian Sand, those guys on the offense side of the ball, they're doing some good stuff. They look great, right? They look like a complete team. I get that. But without them being battle tested, to me, I'm not saying I'm pumping the brakes. I'm buying into them. I think they're legit. But I just don't see how you view it as Alabama's just way beyond. Like there's just this huge gap. Personally, I don't really feel that way. Look, I understand the running game not really being consistent. I understand pass pro kind of up and down, right? I understand defensively earlier on. Look, and we still have given up explosives, which everybody does, but I feel like we're getting better, and we're seeing that number being limited. I feel like the defense is making a lot of progress. To me, it sounds like he's going off of, and I know he covers a lot of Big Ten stuff and whoever else he covers, but I just don't know if he's really watching our games in depth. I'm sure he is. I mean, that's his job. I would hope so. But I don't know, man. To say that there is a complete, just huge gap between the two teams, number 1, number 4, I'm not seeing what he's seeing. I mean, if you want to say by a small margin he feels Ohio State's a little bit more complete of a football team, right, a little bit better of a team right now, I mean, sure, that's fine. That's fair. I mean, I respect that opinion, but I don't understand how you watch what Alabama has become, right? Not what Alabama was week 1, not what Alabama was week 3, but what Alabama has become. And I know, yeah, we had, last game, South Carolina, it was tough. And some people might argue, the last few games were close, right, or closer than they probably could have been or should have been. But again, you're talking about a team that has faced 4 straight ranked opponents. And we're not talking about a situation where, all right, we played these guys, they're ranked, and then they go on to just be trash. I don't have the number in front of me, but the teams that we played that were ranked when we played them have actually fared very well since us beating them, right? Georgia has not lost since the loss to us, right? And that includes a win over a very good Ole Miss team, right? Look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt went and just beat a Missouri team. I understand that injury at quarterback, whatever. But Vanderbilt's still a top 10 team right now. Alabama, where we stand right now with our schedule, not just where these teams were when we played them, but where these teams are currently. I mean, Alabama, I want to say, has 3. Let me think. Georgia's top 10, Vanderbilt's top 10. What is Missouri right now? So I got to pull up the current schedule. But anyway, you get my point. It's not like these teams just vanished out of the top 25, top 10, whatever. No, these teams are really good teams, and Bama has those on their resume. So I guess what I'm getting at is, and I'm not wearing crimson glasses. I'm not just defending Alabama because obviously I'm a Bama guy. I just feel like sometimes people just stretch some of the things, and maybe it's a media take. Maybe that's why they do it. I get that's part of the job. Sometimes you want reactions, but I don't know. I mean, it's like on one hand, I understand like the initial point of what he's saying. Like I do feel like a team like Ohio State. I mentioned it yesterday, right? I talked about that. Like when we do play a team that has that defense that will challenge us, like in the likes of Missouri, South Carolina, but that has an offense that's capable to match that does cause me concern with us. I'll be straight up and say that. But to saying that is one thing, and then saying Alabama is just not even close to what they're doing, that's a whole nother thing. Chase, Reed, I'm curious what you guys have to say about that.
Yeah, I think to say that there's a huge margin between number 1 and number 4 is, I don't know. I feel like that's almost disrespect in a sense, because I could see where he's coming from, of the sense of Ohio State. And I think he pointed it out great that you could argue that they are the most complete team. And I personally think that they are, but like you said, I seriously, I don't think Ohio State's been truly battle tested. Their best, I guess, test of the season was against a week 1 against Texas, where they were ranked number 3. Now they're like around the 20-ish range, which that's not a bad Texas team, but Texas like being your best compared to Bama's Georgia, Missouri, Vandy. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the resilience from this Bama team has been anything unlike any other team in the nation right now.
Yeah, and I think you have to take that into the equation, right? You have to take that into consideration that without a doubt, we're definitely the most battle-tested team. And here's the updated AP right here. So Alabama has wins over number 5, Georgia on the road. Great win. Number 9, Vanderbilt at home, which, I mean, Vanderbilt their only loss is to us. We'll see how they finish things, but still, I mean, they're playing some good football. I mean, this is not the same Vanderbilt that we're used to, right? So we just have to accept it at this point. I mean, 8 games through, and they're 7-1, and they've got themselves some decent wins as well. Tennessee ranked 14. Some would argue they should have beat Georgia at home that game. We know how that went. You know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I get it, but still, their only 2 losses is to us, number 4, and number 5, Georgia. So that's a very good win as well. Missouri 19th. Their losses are to us and to Vanderbilt, right? So number 4 and number 9. So what I'm getting at is, I mean, like you talk about, I mean, the most impressive resume, the most growth from week 1 to week 7. You always talk about, you know, and I've heard people say this, and it's so true, right? When you go, when we're talking about making runs, it's not always about the best team. I mean, it is, but at the same time, sometimes it's more so about who's the hottest team. And I'd argue the way we're starting to hit our strides, we still haven't seen our best yet. And I think if we still continue to build on what we're doing, I mean, I think Alabama can be as dangerous as anybody when you look at it from that perspective. And I think some of these other teams have that opportunity too, right? Like I feel like Georgia, I think they're still kind of putting it together. I think Georgia's going to be a much better team by the end of this season. Not even I know. They'll be a much better team by the end of the year than they were back in, you know, whatever week it was when we played them. Why? Because I think they've had plenty of time at that point to really kind of mold and adjust to who they need to be, given some of their insufficiencies, some of the things that they haven't been great at or they weren't early on in the year. And that's what you expect out of football teams. But anyway, I just wanted to start with that comment before we get in. We got Tony coming up at 12, but I'm curious to what you guys think about that, because I know we had the conversation here on the show. We talked with Clint about it. A lot of you know, high expectations for Alabama. A lot of people buying stock in Alabama, but I guess you still got some people that aren't really fully seeing it. And I think it really boils down to kind of what we've been talking about, where it's all about your perspective. It's one thing when you look at it and you point out, you immediately jump to, yeah, they did this, but, and you focus on the buts, like but they're struggling to run the football, but their offensive line has been inconsistent, but you know, their defense gives up big plays. But I think when it comes down to it, man, I mean, no team technically ever has been perfect. And I don't care even if you've been undefeated. I'll be honest with you. I even think about our 2015 national championship team. People don't talk about it. I mean, I know we won the Joe Moore Award that year, and we were running all over the place, but we had a couple spots on that offensive line that you know, could be a little, you know, worrisome at times, right? I mean, I'm just being completely honest with you. I mean, maybe it might have been one, but that line wasn't perfect. Now we were able to run the football pretty damn well, and Jake had a rocket of an arm, but you guys get my point. So you're not always going to be perfect. Sometimes I think we overlook into things. I mean, and I think the biggest thing is, can the coaches, and this is what they're paid to do, find ways to you know, compensate for some of those insufficiencies? And I think what we're seeing right now is the answer is yes. I think Ryan Grubb has found ways to kind of not hide some of those blemishes, but try to, you know what I mean, mask them as good as he can while they work to fix them. And you can only hope that they continue to get worked on a little bit. We looked at the tape. I'd argue a lot of it can be fixed by execution. Some of it might just be, you know, some of the personnel guys we have just might not be up to par, unfortunately. But we're doing what we can to fix that. But anyway, I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think about that. We got to hit a timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling on this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC again, top of the hour. We got Tony Brown joining us. You guys don't want to miss it. You guys are in for a treat. Looking forward to that. And we'll do that coming up right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, We transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving.
Maybe we need to pull up some Ohio State tape. Maybe that's what we need to do. It's a bye week. We got time. Maybe we need to do that. If you guys are just joining us, man, go ahead and drop that like, all that fun stuff. And share the video, man. Share the video. And yeah, that's always much appreciated. Yeah, maybe we should look at some Ohio State just to fool around, see what it says. Yeah, all right, so good. The mic's back. Yeah, I think when it got unplugged, my computer shifted to. As you guys can see, I'm still on my temporary setup, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Clat wants Bama to click on his YouTube channel. Maybe. I mean, to me, that just, I'm like, that big of a gap. I wouldn't say that. I definitely wouldn't say that. OSU's number one because they won last year. No, I don't think that. I mean, obviously they got a lot of love preseason because of that, and I know their schedule is not it, but I would say this, without a doubt, if Bama did not lose to Florida State, we would be the number one team in the country. That's a fact. Maybe we'll throw that question out there. I'm sure you guys would agree with me, but like, just think about it.
It's the Bear. Sports Radio Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC are partnering with Baumhauer's Victory Grill this season to put you in the best.
All right, so I just got to be, that chord's acting funny. I just got to be careful of that. But without a doubt, with our strength of schedule, if we didn't lose to Florida State, we would be the number one team. I mean, that's a fact. But that's why I get confused on like him making that comment. I mean, it doesn't mean everything, but it's like, if you remove week 1 Florida State, because I think that still just has like a spot in some people's minds. I think us losing to Florida State was good for the team though, in a weird way. No, I agree with that. I mean, I think you're right. I think it honestly flipped that switch, not only in the team, but in the coaches too. Love Kalen DeBoer, right? Great dude. But I'm just going to be completely transparent with you. Like, he had to have that switch flip, right? My dad used to always say, you can be a great guy off the field, but when you step on the football field, you got to flip a switch, right? I've heard Marlon say stuff like that. Like, it's a common thing. I think Coach DeBoer needed that switch to be flipped. I know some people are like, oh, well, he used to yell a little bit at Washington. I'm just telling you guys, the way it was last year, this program needed a little bit more of that intensity. It's just a fact. And it's not a knock on anybody. It's just, that's what this program requires. And since that loss, I think that switch was flipped in everybody. It just created this sense of urgency, boosted the intensity. So I agree with you. And at the end of the day, the rankings don't matter. I mean, what only matters is the college football playoff rankings in terms of placement and all that stuff. But yeah. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. I've been talking about this for a second now during the break, but I just want to put this out here for everybody with our radio listeners now back in the fold. If you look at it, I mean, if you take away that Florida State game, I think it's evident Alabama would be the number one ranked team in the country. Why? Because look at our schedule, right? If we were to beat Florida State week 1, you talk about our resume right now, Alabama would be the number one ranked team in the country. Would that shift the perspective, or I guess the thoughts of a guy like Joel Klatt? I don't know. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the college football playoff rankings that talk about placement for all that good stuff. And we'll see where that ends up falling. But I agree with who is it? Was it Matthew here in the chat? You know, that the Florida State loss almost felt necessary. I mean, that might have been the best thing to happen to this program in quite some time. I mean, because it truly feels like there was a shift in the coaches' mindsets, the players' mindsets, just the whole program in general. You talk about a change of intensity, just really just the day-to-day. I think just going about things has just been totally different since then. So I could care less about having the one there. or I should say, I could not care less about having the one there, being fourth, any of that. I'm just, in my mind, it's just interesting because when I hear comments like Joel Klatt, it makes me wonder, are these people still hung up on that week 1 game against Florida State? Maybe, or maybe they just still watch us. And I'm sure, again, it goes off of the things I mentioned, right? Some inconsistencies here and there, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think what's going to be one of the most interesting things for me is how we look coming out of this bye week, right? Because I know we kind of had a little bit of that dip this past game, and I'm convinced it was because of that long stretch. So I'm really curious how we look coming out this bye week, fresh, right? Had time to get healthy. I don't know who all will be coming back. I know guys like Danny Lewis have been in and out, banged up. Other guys that aren't even on injury reports, they're dealing with stuff, whether they're on the report or not. So I want to see what our team looks like having that time off to get healthy, get their mindset back right, and get ready, gassed up and ready to roll. Because I personally feel like, you heard Jeremy Bernard's comments. These guys still know there's still a lot left in the tank. And there's a lot left to be seen, which is very positive. But if I'm them, I'm hearing what Joel Klatt saying. I'm using that as motivation. But I know what we need to do is maybe after the stream today, pull up some Ohio State tape and just kind of take a deeper dive. I've watched Ohio State. I watched several games. Have I watched them like I watched Alabama, going back and watching tape? I have not, which is why I'm curious. If he feels so strong, there's this big gap. I want to see. If I'm being honest, if I compare the two teams, I'm with you, Reed. Without a doubt, I would argue that Ohio State's a more complete team. Even though they're not battle tested, I have no problem with that. But just to say that the huge gap there, I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see what Tia says. She says, these media people are reactionary. They're fans. They're fickle when you're doing good and loud when you're doing bad. My advice is to enjoy each game at a time because the season moves fast. Before you know it, we're looking at the offseason. If we see Ohio State, we see them. Yeah, no, it would be interesting, man. I think it'd be a damn good matchup. Personally, depending on where teams are placed, it would not shock me if it comes down to us two. Would not shock me. I know we got a long ways to go, but that just wouldn't shock me. I'm seeing people in the chat saying Russaw might be back around Oklahoma. I think that would be solid. I don't think they ever gave a timetable. Maybe you guys have been hearing some stuff, but I'm excited for when he comes back, and obviously you know why. When you look at Yonze stepping up and what he's been able to do, and you add Russaw back in that fold, man. I think we've been talking so much about everybody else's tandems of edge rushers. I think we finally have our pair in Russaw and Pierre, right? I think those guys, depending on, when Russaw comes back, it might take him some time. You're talking about a foot injury. Being a pass rusher, it's about explosiveness, bending. It might take him a couple weeks, but a fully healthy Russaw linked up with Pierre, man, I think that'll be solid because basically you don't have to worry about Deontay Lawson going out. Even though Deontay Lawson's been doing a decent job when they've had him in that position, I'm just imagining a guy like Quay Russaw, who is a pass rusher naturally, working those games, doing all those things. Best believe the pass rush is going to take a big jump when you have that type of personnel back, right? An explosive guy who's built for those things, like those mug looks. Again, I call it the buck position. It's basically just like a outside backer in that rabbits type package that you allow to move around and work more out of like a 3 technique at times, depending on the call, and he can work games from that spot. I'm just telling you guys, man, pass rush should take a big jump when we get that. Everybody's spamming Keon Keeley in the chat too. He's coming along too, but that's not his role. He's more of like in those packages, he can rush out of a 3, or if you're in like an odd look, yeah, he'll be in a 5. I'm talking about having like another true like edge guy. Like Keon's almost outgrown like that. I know you guys see him off the edge, and he is an edge rusher. Don't get me wrong, but he's like 275 now. I'm saying having a guy like Russaw, who's around 250, 245, 250, those guys, like true rabbits. That's what I coined them, like true outside backer / rabbit guys. But you're right. Keon coming along is great. And I think that's going to be huge. If I'm Kane Womack, this is what I would do. If I'm Kane Womack, because I saw there's some things, some packages we had where we had like Edric Hill, LT, and maybe like James Smith, like in an odd look. Then you still had an outside backer, and this was like a 3rd down package. To me, I'm all about when it's third down, you get your best rushers out there. Now, obviously, if they're a team that's shown that they'll run draw or some like screen type stuff, you could be vulnerable in a situation like that. But if we're talking about just going and getting it, with the emergence of Keely, what I would do, I would come up with a package like you just want you want speed, you want guys that can go get it. I would have Yonze out there. I would have LT at one of the tackle spots. I would have Keon probably working out of a 3. And then when Quay Rusaw is back, have him at that other edge spot. I mean, you guys see where I'm going with that. I mean, that would be like my true like third down. We're going and getting it package. And I'm sure you could probably rotate like you could rotate some other guys. Like you could swap maybe James Smith with one of those tackle spots. I mean, because he's definitely a good rusher on the interior. But normally, like when you're talking about a true speed package like that for pass rush, you have like one big like tackle type guy. And like with the Panthers, we would have 3 edge guys in there, but just one big tackle. You need one big guy to help kind of set picks and do things on the interior. But then the other guys, you just want straight speed. Like you look at what the Giants are doing. Like this is what the type of like defense I like when you get like third and long situations. Like they got Thibodeau, my guy Burns, my draft mate with Carolina, and then they've got the guy they just drafted from Penn State, Carter. I mean, you see all 3 of those guys working. Those guys all play the same. They're all edge players. But in those positions, like in the third and long, they want to go get it. Man, you put your best rushers on the field. And there's always going to be one guy that's a little bit better rushing like the 3. That's an edge guy. Like for us, that was Mario Addison. He was an edge guy, but he was so good with his hands and was so used to rushing out of a 3, he could do that. And it's a different type of rush, right? You don't expect him to be rushing like Don Terry Poe, who I played with. I'm sure you guys remember him, or Big KK Short. But it's different because now you have a guard who's used to blocking a 300-pound guy. Now you have a 250-pound guy who's rushing out of a 3, but you're working him on games, and it really messes them up because guards, they're not used to working with speed like that. You get what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, like NASCAR package, exactly, man. That's what we called it with Carolina, our NASCAR package, and that's where you just got straight speed on the field, man. Straight speed, all gas, no brakes. All right, we got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we'll dive into a little bit more of a conversation on this stuff before we welcome Tony in at the top of the hour. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for that, because I'm telling you, this will be exciting. Go ahead and like the video, share it, all that good stuff, man. Tony Brown coming up at the top of the hour. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on the
NASCAR package, man. Yeah, I had to throw in that Jacob Fatu reference. Yeah, and we didn't really do a NASCAR package in college like that, but we had I guess we got when they came out with the Raptors package, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, Raptors, NASCAR, I mean, whatever term you want to use, it's all the same thing. But I don't think we have anything like that in right now. I think the most I saw, like I said, this is the opposite. It was like an odd front with like 2 tackles / a strong end in LT Overton. To me, I didn't like that. And the reason I say this, you're playing like Lenora Sellers, right? If it's third and long, why do we have 3 guys that are, from 275 to 300 something pounds? And you still had like an edge guy in there, but I think they had him mugged. I just was kind of like, man, hell no, man. Go do like a NASCAR or like a Raptors package, man. Like, it's all about containing a guy like Lenoris, bro. That's what you need. Wait, what is this? I just got Nick Saban suggests to Chris Lowe that Lane Kiffin may already have a better job at Ole Miss than he would at LSU or Florida. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I kind of was curious about that too. Maybe LSU, but would you guys leave Ole Miss for Florida though? I'll be honest with you, man. I've been kind of thinking that in my head too. Like, I feel like Lane's got a lot of backing at Ole Miss. They're doing really good. I mean, they recruit well. The portal's fine. I mean, they do a good job getting the players he needs. Like, if you guys were Lane, would you guys leave? Love to see Keon, Keeley, Smith, Simmons, Overton up front on third and long. Wait. Hell yeah, hell no. I would stay. No. Ole Miss to get him everything he needs. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, is it worth leaving Ole Miss for Florida? To me, I'm like, I almost feel like that's a lateral move, man. I mean, if you're talking about like geography wise, if you want to live in Florida versus Oxford, Mississippi, maybe, but I don't know, man. LSU, I'm like, I get it. I mean, LSU, you're gonna be able to recruit even better. That's a even bigger program, but I'm just like, man, like you guys said, he's got everything he needs at Ole Miss, and they're doing a damn good job. Still would be in the same conference. I mean, he's still gonna have the same challenges. I mean, I'd almost argue that. Wait, who are Ole Miss their permanent opponents? They got Oklahoma, Mississippi State, and who's the other one? No state tax in Florida. Well, to be fair, he did say he never makes decisions based off of money. So I agree with you on that one, Keith. I agree 100% on that one. Can't win that title, Ole Miss. But I don't know. I mean, but what would be the difference with Florida? I mean, you guys think Florida would give them that much more? But maybe LSU, because LSU LSU is a step up in terms of a program. But Florida, I know Florida technically is too, but it's been a minute since Florida has kind of been what they were. I think people still are just basing it off of what these teams and places were. But you can't discredit. I mean, Ole Miss, they got a lot of resources.
It's 54 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. All right, we're a few minutes away from my brother Crazy Tony, aka Apex, AP3X, joining us, and I'm looking forward to that. But we had like a minute or two before we hit this break, so I just wanted to throw this question out for our radio listeners and just get Chase and Reed's thoughts real quick because we just were talking about it on the stream. Everybody's talking about Lane Kiffin and where he should go or where he shouldn't go. And I guess my question is it even worth leaving Ole Miss for Florida or LSU? Just let me know what you guys think. I'm reading all the comments here on the YouTube stream, and they're definitely mixed, but I guess just to throw mine out there for our radio listeners. To me, I feel like he's got the resources that he needs at Ole Miss, right? They're doing a lot of really good stuff. I mean, they recruit well. They do great in the portal, which clearly shows the backing that he has. They've really embraced him there. I mean, I don't know. And he said that he's not really driven by money. And the reason this came up is because allegedly Chris Lowe was talking with Coach Saban, and Coach Saban had said that he's not even sure himself if there's a better opportunity for Lane that's awaiting him. I mean, maybe you could argue LSU. Just because I do kind of look at LSU in that program and say, all right, man, like that brand for LSU, it's a little bit of a step up from where he's at. I guess you could say that about Florida. I mean, Florida had a lot of success about Urban Meyer all those years. I get that, but I'm just looking at what he's built at Ole Miss, and I'm like, for him to leave, then take over a program where they just fired a coach mid-year, he's going to have to embrace recruits leaving, going to try to go save face and salvage that stuff. And all the stuff that comes with taking over a program that's not in the best spot, even though they're good programs, so versus where he's at now and what he's established there. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the quote real quick, though. Jobs that weren't great jobs before are now. Lane is the first name for Florida and the first name for LSU, but I think you can have a long debate on whether either one of those jobs is actually better than the job he has now, because he has some guys over there at Ole Miss that give him pretty much whatever he wants from a roster standpoint. Maybe you've got alumni who are passionate about football, but are they willing to invest what you have to invest in? What you have to invest now to win? Because a lot of people don't believe in this crap. We'll substitute that word. So I don't know, man. Just an interesting debate. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit, but we're going to hit a timeout because when we come back, we will be joined live by Tony Brown, Alabama legend, the Apex, right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9. Here's Steve.
Why does it keep just doing that? All right. So if he has a couple bad years, he won't get pressured out of there. Well, I mean, and he's had good years. I mean, like he's consistently been a 1-2 loss team over the last 3 years. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, that in today's college football, I mean, that's about what you can all you can ask for. Other than, you know, I get it, the postseason runs and that good stuff. They didn't make the playoffs last year, but still, I mean, you talk about like the gauntlet of the SEC. It's tough. And right now, they're doing a damn good job. But if you go to Florida, you go to LSU, I mean, it's the same thing. You still got to do that. But now you're doing it you're starting back over. And I don't know, man. I mean, unless you just really enjoy the process of rebuilding things, which I know some people do, but enough to basically make a lateral. In my mind, I view those as almost lateral moves, man. Maybe not LSU just because of the alumni and the alumni. The support that they have, I mean, maybe, but depends on where Lane is at his life. If he wants comfort, then stay at Ole Miss, but he wants a challenge and wants to join the history books. The best coach, you go to LSU. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I mean, the brand, like we talked about with LSU. Let me send Tony differently. All right. Jesus Christ, this mic, man.
149.
Let's see. Let's try another email. All right. If you guys, hey Reed, see if you can throw in another couple ads, because I think he's still pulling up that stream link if possible. If you can just put like another ad or two in there for like a minute or so. Wonder why nobody's mentioning Dabo. I feel like people are kind of almost viewing him as like not a thing in the past, but I mean like there's probably concerns that he's not necessarily willing to do the things necessary to have success in this day and age, you know? I mean, without a doubt, somebody would hire him, but they need. But I don't for these big jobs right here. I don't know if he's going to be the first name. But I don't know. I do know one thing though. The other thing that is other job that is probably one of the best to have right now is to be a good performing coach. Because when this happens, everybody gets raises. So either be a good coach, get a big job and get fired, or just be a good coach and then get a raise. It's kind of about best way to make a lot of money these days as a coach, man. Yeah, I'm on mute, guys. I'm talking to Tony. We're just getting him set up. And I appreciate you guys. Here he goes. You might just enable your camera if you haven't. It might be Oh, duh. All right, hang on. All right.
And by 2 times.
There we go. Yes, sir. All right, yeah, Reed, we're good. You can go ahead and let it run.
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide
Can you hear me?
100.9 and 12:30
Yes,
a.m.
I cannot hear you.
WTBC.
Check. Can you hear me, Tony?
I can't hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
Let me see. Yeah, I can't hear you for some reason. You're in the show. Let me see.
Hold on, Reed. Just
iPhone
let that music play for a second, Reed, while we set this up.
Settings, audio. Yo, la la la.
They can hear you, so you can't hear us, though. So we need to figure out what.
I can kind of read your lips on some crazy-ish. But
No.
I'm in here. I don't know why. The heck, I cannot hear
there's
you. Let me get out and then log back on. Maybe it was because I got on FaceTime. Let me see.
All right. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, so we are now going to be joined by a good brother of mine. We go way back, and you guys definitely know who this guy is. Now, we were working out some kinks, so we'll see if it's set back up. Tony, I see you at the bottom, but can you hear me now? Does it sound better? All right, we got the thumbs up, so we're ready to roll. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Again, we got a very special guest here today. You guys have been requesting this guy for a minute now. He's full of energy, full of wisdom, for sure. Brother of mine, we go back years, man, and definitely have been tight since. And we'll talk about some of our first interactions and all that good stuff. But I know he's got a lot of big stuff going on, too, that I want him to share with you guys as well. So without further ado, we're now joined by Alabama legend, NFL cornerback, and as some people like to call him, Crazy Tony Brown. Tony, my brother, welcome in, man.
Blessed. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I love this, man. It's like a full circle moment, man. Obviously, I mean, we obviously catch up and we talk and stuff, but having you on the show, I think it's the first time you've come on here, which I appreciate you hopping on. We've had Blade, we've had Ruben and other folks, but haven't had my guy Tony on here. And a lot of people, your name always comes up one way or another. And it typically is because people are like, man, we need some dogs. We need some guys that bring the juice. And then immediately when that conversation comes up, you automatically pop up. It goes, oh, we need Tony Brown. We need a Tony Brown. So I'm like, all right, well, we just need a Tony Brown here on the Miller's Edge. But Tony, look, there's a number of places where we can start with this. And I know I hopefully got a good bit of time with you because I feel like this is definitely going to take some time. I got a lot of things I want to dive into. But for those of you listening, again, you guys know who Tony is. But if you're not familiar, Tony came in the 2014 class with me here at Alabama, originally from Texas. Tony is literally probably one of the best athletes I've ever seen in my life, not just on the football field. But for those of you that don't know, Tony is literally like an All-American Olympic level track star as well. Tony had offers from all over the country, one of the highest rated players in Coach Saban's draft class history, for sure. Tony spent time in the NFL since 2018, with a number of teams from the Chargers, the Packers, Bengals, Colts, and most recently the Browns. Special teams demon. I mean, this dude can pretty much do it all. So that's what we got today, and I know you guys are fired up to have him on here. Without further ado, Tony, man, what's up, man? How's everything, brother?
Bless. Like I said, man, C-Mill, thank you for having me on Miller's Edge. I do appreciate this opportunity to speak to the fans, speak to the people, and to really just, get the fans a look into like what a typical conversation between two Bama legends sounds like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to dive into that for sure. I mean, we got plenty of time to do it. But I want to start here, Tony, because obviously me and you go way back. We go back to recruiting, right? I mean, I was telling everybody, I mean, back then we used to all, meet each other, whether it was at the opening, whether it was at the Under Armour All-American game, which a matter of fact, that was when you committed to Alabama. If I remember correctly, because I remember, you did one of the commitments during the game. And I remember there's a lot of hype. And I was committed to Alabama at the time. All of us Alabama commits, which I know a lot of people were in your ear trying to make sure you were going to choose Alabama. And I think you gave us the nod before you did that, and everybody was fired up. But starting there, Tony, tell me kind of what was that journey like for you recruiting wise? How did you end up at Alabama, right? Because you could have gone anywhere in the country. You were a 5-star recruit. I'm pretty sure, you probably had Olympic/track opportunities as well. How did you end up playing football at the University of Alabama?
Well, it was a multitude of things. There were, I had 5. I had top 5 colleges when I was coming out of high school. I know I graduated early, so I set up all 5 of my visits. My top 5 was LSU, Alabama, Texas, USC, and Ohio State in no particular order. So I took all 5 of my visits. I went to most of these colleges' camps. In my decision-making process, I definitely wanted to go somewhere where I felt like I could grow as a man and a player. My father was my coach growing up my entire life, so I was under the tutelage of a strong father. So I knew that like with a strong hand, you could see dividends in your athletic career based off of being just being consistent. Like it takes a certain level of like edge about coaching someone that you're trying to get them to an elite level that doesn't it's beyond like the pedestrian level of comfort. You have to get outside of your comfort. And so if there was a place where I felt like I would be too comfortable, I didn't think that would promote me growing as a player at all. So that was one with big keys that went into me choosing the University of Alabama or choosing whatever college I would have chosen. And when I went to Alabama's camp, the Nick Saban football camp, I don't know if this was 2000, I don't know, 12 or 13, one of those years. I remember they were in the old weight room, which was, I think that was like a part of the locker room now, or like the nutrition center now. That was like the old weight room. And I remember Big Fluker was there, like guys was there. Like even me when I went to Bama, I worked the camp. So guys was there that was like, when you were a high school kid, college guys at that time was like legends. Now I think it's a little different, but like back then, so like old man, back then it was like, I'm seeing these huge, I'm seeing, Mark Ingram, I'm like, yo, these are legends to me, kind of, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm seeing these guys, but I'm also seeing how they working. Like I was a player who, as a young age, I took risks in the form of like, oh, we're supposed to be here at this time. Oh, we're supposed to be here as a group. Nah, I'm going and seeing what the players got going. They got to work out. Let me go sneak around and just wiggle my way into just, that door stay open. Let me see who, that was me as a high school athlete visiting college campuses. So I got a chance to really smell and feel like what it felt like to be in a locker room after a workout, during the workout with these guys. And like I did a workout after with him and Coach Cochran, and it was like, and Fluker, and it was just they was in there working, and Cochran was with it, and it felt like home in the form of like work. I believe that like your faith though shows forth through your work, and so it felt like home in that sense. Secondly, I was a 2-sport athlete, so I knew I wanted to run hurdles in college and I wanted to run hurdles and sprint. So like at the time, it was Coach Kane was the Alabama's hurdle coach, and they had Reuben Walters and another guy that were like some of the top hurdlers in the country. and they had a few other sprinters, DeAndre Vatson, another sprinter that were like the top sprinters in the country as well. So I was like, okay, that's a plus. And then it came into like me weighing different pros and cons as far as like, you know, some things is trivial because I was young. Some things is trivial as like, you know, what is it actually like the aesthetic, of the campus, the aesthetic of like the aesthetic of like, no, listen, the aesthetics of like the colors of the uniforms and stuff like that.
I thought about that stuff too.
Little small like things like that. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Okay, how I was treated, and then you got, you know, the cherry on the top, which is just Coach Saban, which is like, you know, anybody who knows football knows what type of program he runs and how they can promote growth as a player. You know, it's just a proven system. So those three things went into me choosing Alabama.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I was very similar. Like, people might get mad at this, but I was in high school. I used to kind of go back and forth in my head. I'm like, man, I really like Florida. I like Bama. I'm like, man, Bama's unis are a little trash. Look, listen. Before I had the respect for the tradition, and now it's funny. I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, when I see some of these other teams with too much, I'm like, man, nah, man, we got a tradition. I love a tradition. But like in high school, when you're 15, 16, I'm like, how's my swag gonna look? Just the plain red jersey, and you gotta wear black cleats. But you see, nowadays they got it better now, though, because see, they I don't think they gotta wear the black cleats like us.
They barely got to wear football pants.
Yeah, you see, which I mean, you're doing in practice now. You're getting away with it in practice, but the refs weren't having that in the game.
We couldn't do that in the game. They able to pull it off in the game.
Nah, bro, I seen a dude. He legit had his football pants in the game. Might have been from Florida, bro. Were legit like midway on his thigh.
Yeah,
and I was like, bro, they got it good, bro. I mean, these dudes can celebrate in college now. They don't need to wear knee pads. They get paid. They got it made. And we'll dive into some of that here in a minute. Tony, all right, you get to Alabama. Actually, no, you got to tell the story real quick. I need to get you to explain these people. One of our first interactions on campus. I'm sorry, I can't skip over it. Now you can pick and choose what part, what part you want to include in this.
I can.
You don't have to say everything.
No, I will not.
No, you don't have to say everything. I need you to at least kind of give an idea.
How about this? I'll tell the story like it's a tall tale. So it'll be like I'll let you guys decide what y'all think is truth and what's a lie. This is how I remember it. You know, I done had plenty hits to the head. I've had, you know, I was special team player. I've ran on the kickoff. Y'all seen how I hit. So this could be true or could not be true. Just as a disclaimer before, the way I remember it, the way I recall, right? I was at a gathering, and there was a gathering, right, at an apartment building that wasn't far from campus, but it was far enough where the walk is crazy. It's far enough where like the walk is crazy. The drive is maybe less than 7-8 minute drive, but that's a far walk, a very far walk, right? So I think Mill, you might have been on your visit.
It was my official visit, bro.
Okay, there we go. It was his official visit, and I was already there because I had graduated early.
Yep.
So
who were you rooming? Who were you rooming with? Because we didn't have many early enrollees.
It was me,
you, Cornwell.
It was me, Cornwell, and Sean Dion.
Sean Dion Hamilton.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, we got this gathering, this track team gathering. Mill, let's pull up. He on his visit. I want to have show a good time. So we pull up to the party, right? It's a fun party. Exactly, literally on some hilarious stuff. Like literally looks exactly whatever you guys think a collegiate party looks like exactly. And it's like it was a track team. So track is super multicultural. We had like, it was like a Russian guy. We had French athletes. We had like Ukrainian athletes. African, it was athletes from different parts of the places at track gatherings. So it's a conglomerate of people at this apartment. This is probably a 3-bedroom apartment, maybe 3-bedroom apartment, possibly 4, 3 to 4 bedroom apartment, not 3,000 square feet. It may have been less than 2,500 square feet.
Yeah,
maybe
if that.
maybe under 60 people there, under 60 people, right?
Around there, yeah.
See, Mill just told you guys, right? He may or may not have been 21. I don't know what year he graduated, but there was alcohol at the party. It was different types of people at the party. I don't know everybody that was there. I know I was there. So at some point, the police, right? At some point, and you know what? You know what? If you were watching it, y'all can connect this because this was in the news as well. Because this was like one of the first weeks that I was there. This might have been my first Saturday, like being a college student. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
Yeah,
I've told
bro.
this story before. I think this was my first actual college Saturday being a college student. It might have been January like 7th or some crazy. So
Y'all
my
weren't
first
there
college
long, bro.
Saturday.
Y'all just got there, bro. Y'all
Yeah,
just
that was
got
my
there, but
first
y'all were
college weekend.
like a week maybe in, but y'all were still showing us everything because we were like,
Yeah.
hey, so how it's been? Y'all like, shit, it's been cool, man. We just got here, but you like, this is our homeboy here, and I'm like, oh man, it's cool, man. So I'm just down for the ride, but go ahead. You're
Yeah.
right. It was a good time. We're enjoying it, but then we had some company come that
Yeah.
weren't necessarily invited.
Yes, we had some police come. This story might get dark for a second. I'm gonna let y'all know now. I didn't expect it to. It might get dark for a second, but we had police come, right? So initially, I'm because I'm the one who brought Christian into the party. When you're young, your response to certain things, emotions make you lose a lot of logic. So I would advise any young people watching, always try to take your emotions out of the situation before you make a decision because you can't be logical when you're heightened emotion. So I'm like, yo, I gotta get you out of here, see Mill. Like, I think it's alcohol in here. I know doo. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get out of here. The police at the door, the guy whose apartment it was steps outside, but he didn't step outside. Like the police hit him with a flashlight.
Well, remember, because initially he said,
initially
who is it?
everybody hold it down.
Initially, everybody's like quiet. He's like, who is it? And then they announce who they are. And typically, you're supposed to, follow with their. Well, I think this guy was feeling himself a little too much.
Yeah.
Because he said, y'all aren't coming in. I'm like, yo, I don't think you have that choice.
Yeah. So the police. So it was a second to where, okay, knock. Oh,
yeah.
Music cut. Music gets cut down. Everybody trying to be quiet for a second. They're like, oh, it's the police. So we in the room, me and Christian in the room. I'm like, dang, the police. I'm looking at windows like, how we gotta get out of here? I don't care. I don't know about
go.
I don't got no man, gone. So the police end up pulling the owner of the apartment out of his apartment, like crazy, pull him out of the door. So now in that, it felt like 10 minutes, but it probably was 45 minutes or 2 minutes. It felt like 10 minutes. Bro.
It felt like forever, bro.
It felt like a long time. We had to be quiet.
We're ducked off in a room trying to figure out how to get windows open. And I'm talking about there's all type of stuff going on in the main area where everybody was celebrating. Like Tony said, we're like, man, he just got here. I'm on a visit. We're like, nah, we need to go. And so we're literally trying to find how to open this window. And it's like something out of a movie, man. Because there's probably 8 people together with us in that room.
Yes,
and we're all trying to figure out this whole window. And we could not figure out the window. I don't know if you remember. I think somebody not broke it, like the glass.
Yeah, we had to break.
Okay,
we had to end up breaking because in college the windows only go up this much, and there's like a little stopper. So we had to break the stopper to get the window up. So we end up getting out. Luckily, it was on the first floor. We end up getting out. Right. We start to slide away, and then me and C-Mill realize as we're walking, like, hey, bro, I'm a week there. This is my first time being at this apartment building, and we got dropped off. I didn't have no car. C-Mill didn't have no car. He on his business. We got dropped off. This is pre-Uber. Also, just so you guys this is pre-Uber. I don't know if Uber was out there, but we didn't know about no Uber.
No, we had Crimson Ride, but we didn't even know how that worked.
Right. So then we get out, we start to leave, and we realize we're walking bro, we're just gonna be walking aimlessly. So we go back to the party we're gonna find a ride. Maybe I know other people got out. We finna go find a ride over there. So we get back, to the scene of the party, and there's maybe 5 cop cars. Now it's a crowd of people outside of the cop cars. It's 2 people in handcuffs. There's one on the ground and one getting walked to the cop car. There's people with their phones out. AC Miller, like, we just came look for a ride. We got a lot more than we bargained for. So as we're walking around, I see we're looking for a ride, and I'll tell this part of the story. I wasn't going to.
I was about to say you can. I was about to say you can skip over. I was about that we got the main gist.
I'll skip over that part. That'll be for another time. Whenever the next time, I'll tell y'all the rest of that story. But that's the summary. But all right. That part makes it so much more better though, because it's
up to you, man.
So look, I'll tell you guys the rest of the story. I ain't gonna tell you all the details. I ended up getting arrested when we went back. So
you were trying to help some of your teammates. You were trying to help your teammates out, and you unfortunately
yes. I got arrested, right? But to end the night, just also not funny, but funny. They didn't take my phone, so I'm in the back of the cop car calling Bill. I'm like, see, Bill, I'm arrested, bro. Call me. Call me, bro. What the fuck? Like, it's my first week on campus. I'm in a cop car. What is going on right now, bro? So
when I tell y'all, I have no idea what to do, guys. I'm on a visit, and he legit did call me back there, and I'm literally just sitting here like, what the hell do I do? So I'm like, man, I'm trying to think of any coach, whoever. I don't even know the staff well enough at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. And I was like, damn, we're both gonna get in trouble. But no, I'm glad Tony was okay, and it ended up working out okay. But it did work out okay. And we tell that story jokingly. Now, obviously, we know it's definitely a scary situation. And like Tony said, I mean, hindsight is 20/20. I mean, for anybody listening, just if you're ever in a situation, just comply, be respectful, whatever. But because we can laugh about it now, but we do know. I mean, it could have been a little bit different, but it definitely is just kind of crazy. That was our first experience on campus together. Now, again, we met before that, but that was probably the craziest thing. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, how am I supposed to tell my parents, like, hey, Chris, how was the visit? I'm like, it was great. Went to a college party. My homeboy, my host, got carried away. I'm just sitting there hoping for Cornwell to show back up because Cornwell had the truck. So Cornwell was like the saving grace for everything. Everybody had to call Cornwell for everything. But let's do this because I know we got to hit a timeout here. Okay. Let's do this. Stay on schedule. Hey, Reed, Chase, let's hit a quick timeout because that's a perfect point to hit a timeout. We come back. We'll get Tony's thoughts on his experience here at Alabama. I want to ask him about a Saban story, just in general, his experience, because Tony had the luxury of sitting right next to Coach Saban in the meetings, right? So Tony's got so much. Tony's like he should write his own book on his experience at Alabama. It'll be great. But we come back, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about his journey in the NFL. Then I definitely want to, here in a minute, talk about what he's doing now and some of the things he's doing off the field because he's got a lot of exciting stuff going on. We're going to dive into all that when we come back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Hey, this is Wyatt Fulton from.
You got time for like to hang out till 1, like the rest of the hour? You got enough time?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I just want to make. I just want to make sure I had. I was able to fit everything in. Because I know we got like 30 minutes left, so I'll make sure I kind of squeeze some of that stuff. I mean, we could probably do a whole 2-hour podcast. The problem is we're on live radio, but we can always hang over. I can always close out the radio then if we got any other things to get you. But
no, you good. I'm good. I got time.
All right, bet. So worst case, if we don't get everything on the radio, I'll close the show out radio, but I'm gonna keep the stream going.
Okay.
And we can wrap things up there. But nah,
what time great. What time? How long is the timeout gonna be?
We'll be back in probably like 2 minutes. You need to do something? If you need to do something, go do it. You good?
No, I'm fasting. I'm over here. Let me see how long this lasts.
Are you fasting for how long? Are you talking about like for this day, or are you talking about like
for the day? Because I still got to train. I'm gonna fast today and then this weekend. I'm trying to get like 1 to 2 to 3 days a week. I'm trying to fast just to reset it. Wednesday would probably
So
be the best day.
like, well, you talking about up to like intermediate, whatever.
The whole
Wait,
day.
wait. Oh
Nothing.
no,
The
no,
whole
I
day,
can't do
nothing.
that, bro.
Just,
No,
just,
that's
just mental, just take
no.
me down. Like, bro, but no lie. The reason that I want to do it because, like, I fasted during Ramadan when I was in Africa, and
We're gonna
bruh,
get to that trip too. I
there's
got
a
plenty of questions about that. You
there's
gotta
a
fill me in.
there's a level of like respect you get for your body whenever you don't eat, and then there's a gratitude for like the taste of things when you don't eat. Like if you go a day without eating or like 3 days on just water, bruh, whatever that you eat next, oh my, like you have a whole different level of gratitude for like taste, for food itself, and like it just helps you live in like a more like it helps you like with gratitude. Like to me, that's where like true peace is like in gratitude. So like that's why I want to start implementing fasting into my week. So like, okay, I got a week of like I know how it feels to feel hungry, and I can make my body, I can make my mind as strong as my body. My body's screaming, I'm hungry, but I'm telling myself, nah, don't eat. And when you're hungry, God, you know how that feels. So if you can tell your body not to eat when you're hungry, then you can kind of do anything you want to do as far as like if you trying to if you trying to like if you're trying to kill bad habits, procrastination, fast. If you can fast, you go kill it for procrastination because you're gonna know how to. The mind gonna be able to tell the body do this. It ain't gonna be the body telling the mind to. Because that's when you get it mixed up. When the body tell the mind like, "Oh, I'm tired," that's your body telling your mind what to do. It got to be the other way around.
I like that, man. It's all about building a mental toughness. We know plenty about that. We learned about that.
100.9.
All right, everybody,
It's
come back here.
54 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Gotta play that health as well, man. I can't even play the health as well.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch sport experts. You guys already know we got crazy Tony Brown. Hopefully, Tony, I think you're good with that nickname, right? Bama fans kind of came up with that name for you. And I'm going to ask you about all that in a minute, but hopefully you're good with that. Again, that's just from the fans. That's not me. I know you go by AP3X, Apex. We'll dive into that here in a second as well. But Tony Brown joined us here on the Miller's Edge. And continuing where we just left off, we told the story about our first experience here, but talk to me a little bit about your experience here in general, Tony. I mean, you come in, top-rated guy. You actually were one of the few guys that did play early. Remember, back then we didn't have a bunch of young guys really seeing the field, but you were one of them. You did get a lot of opportunities. But just tell us about like your experience here, just your journey, working your way up, and then I know everybody always wants to hear Coach Saban's story. I want you to kind of talk about that kind of whole experience too. But I guess I'll start there. Your experience at Alabama on the field, right? How was it for you? Things you might have learned, and then tell us how it was being next to Coach Saban so much, because y'all literally were two peas in the pod, right next to each other every day. Low key, probably driving each other a little crazy sometimes, because I know he we'd be watching tape and then he'd see you jawing on the tape, and he didn't like that. Tony, if you guys didn't know, I'm sure you wouldn't have guessed this. Tony was the biggest talker that we had on the field. I don't care where we were at, when it was, Tony was going to be trying to get in the head of those receivers. And Coach Saban, he low-key acted like he didn't like it, but he kind of did. He liked it a little bit because he knew it brought the juice and intensity to practice. Like, it got everybody going. But anyway, I'll let you take it away. Tell us about your experience at Alabama and then a little bit about that too.
My experience at Alabama was one that, I hadn't ever really thought about it, but I think that I could write a book. Because, when you're going through things, when you go through things, you don't usually sit back and take the passenger seat and looking at, what's really going on. Like, and Christian will probably tell you as well, as we were, searching to win championships at Bama, I wasn't actively thinking, when Coach Saban's done or when this is done, how will it be looked if Coach Saban stops coaching? I didn't even understand like what I was a part of. I knew that, yo, we are a really good team and we have a standard for what we want to do. But looking back, I didn't really look at it as like, oh, the Miami. I didn't look at it as like, oh, the Florida get. I wasn't, but that's exactly what it was, right? So, you know, I my experience was like a movie. To put it in layman's terms, like for lack of better words, it was very similar to a movie, like in the sense that, you know, a lot of the characters are actually movie type characters in the show, and it's like, you know, I was blessed to be around prolific athletes, some that didn't make it to the NFL and some that the whole world knows now. Um, so it was full of ups and downs, like anyone's college career would be. But as I look back, I count it as a blessing, even the shortcomings of my career at Alabama, even the things that, you know, oh, I could have did this better, or I could have did this, you know, even with all of that, it was an amazing experience as a young man to understand and to be able to even, you know, have reference tracks of what holding yourself accountable can do, of what paying attention to the little things, how that can pay dividends in the big. Like I can reference that with my athletic career in college, where some people might can never reference, you know, the things that it takes in order to go to the next level in whatever facet that may be. Because, you know, that's one of the things that I learned at Alabama, and I think that's one of the things that Coach Saban is immortalized for the methods by which he did win. He didn't win by, you know, wacky offensive positions, wacky offensive plays. He didn't win by, oh, he was known for going for it on fourth down or fake kickoffs. Or we didn't win that way. We won based off of the standard that we set as players and that he set as a coach top down, and we stood on that daily. And we had guys that was going to push each other and compete that ate off of competition. I learned that only through competition can you really see dividends in your performance at all. So like my experience was full of competition. It was full of love, laughter, you know, with some tears, a lot of pain. But it was a movie, man. It was awesome. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it because, you know, if you change it, you don't know, I might not be here right now. So like I wouldn't change it at all. And the Saban story, this will probably be a funny one. This will probably be a funny one. As Cemil told you guys, I sat right by Coach Saban. Unbeknownst to me, right? The first day we had meetings, I sat in his chair. I didn't know where he sat at. I sat where he sit at in the middle, where the DBs sit on the front row, and then the linebackers, I think, sat like over to the left. Everybody had different spots. And so I went in the DB set and sat right where Coach Saban is. I didn't know. He come in laughing with his little cup of coffee like he do every day he come in with the pen in his mouth or something like that. And he laughing, he chuckling. He come walking to the seat and he kind of like looks at like the people around. He's like, and like kind of points at me, and then he like waves me off and he just sits down beside me in what is gonna be his seat for the next 4 years. So the funny story about me sitting beside Coach Saban, training camp, right? Man, I could direct a good Bama training camp movie for sure. It would be good, very very good. So. As you guys know, training camp is a long, laborious, tentative schedule that most high school players going into college, their first time doing a college football camp, training camp, is grueling, right? On the body, on the mind, you know, sleep, you know, understand nothing. You get up early, you go to sleep late. So fighting sleep is hard, boy, especially when you never really had to fight sleep. So, like, I'm sitting right by Coach Saban now, but like, bruh, and I used to hate that. Like, the crazy thing about meetings, football meetings and training camp, bro, I promise you, you could be wide awake, fresh off of breakfast, fresh off a 6:30 lift, but like, soon as you walk into that air-conditioned meeting room, and you gotta sit down for more than 20 minutes, bro. Not being able to like wiggle. It's real cold, nice and chilly. He had to have football pants on, and he didn't want nobody going to change. So we in our football pants, nice and cozy. You feel me? It's cozy all up. You get leather seats, movie chair type seats, very cozy seats, right? And so I'm good. I'm thinking I'm straight. I fell asleep without knowing I went to sleep. I was fighting it, but I lost the fight, and I didn't know I lost the fight. So I'm steady fighting it. Oh, he told me this right after. Whole time he watching me. I'm not knowing he watching me. I'm just trying to fight this so hard.
Bro, we all were watching you. It was a team. I'm pretty sure it was a team meeting. Like I vividly remember this. Bro, your head tilted back. It kept doing this. You kept doing that like when people are nodding off into sleep. And we were watching, everybody was like, oh no.
He tapped me. He tapped me. I'm not knowing now, man. I'm gone. This is just one of the days. So I couldn't. He was on me. So the Sandman had sprinkled the whole bucket on me, right? So this happened like 2 or 3 days, 2 days in a row. Like I kind of was nodding off, but I was just nodding off. And he was like, and so the third day, right? He put air horn in behind his chair. I'm not knowing none of this. I'm dozing off. He let me go to sleep this time. No, he ain't like nudged me. He let me go to sleep completely. Right? I'm completely asleep. He air horn. And man, come on, bro. Everybody there laughing. It wasn't funny to me, but it's funny to me now. So that's a very funny story. And I'm like, that's very on brand with Coach Saban and man, wake me up with an air horn right beside him, bro. Come on, bro.
Bro, no, and I forgot about it, but no, I vividly, we kept watching. You're doing the typical, like, because that just happened to me. Your head starts going back, and you're like thinking you're fighting it, but then you said next thing you know, you don't even remember. You fall asleep.
Like a baby, bro, like my son. Like I see my son, like soon as, so I don't care what we doing. If I put my son in the car and we drive anywhere for more than 15 to 20 minutes, it's over with. Sleep.
No, dude, that's hilarious. No, I forgot about that until you just said that. Yeah, you had some nerve, man. I know you didn't mean to do it, but boy, falling asleep right next to this dude is lucky crazy. Hey, speaking of your time at Alabama, man, a lot of people they immediately go back to this. So I want you to watch this quick clip real quick and just give me just an immediate reaction.
Right now, what are your feelings right now? I feel great right now. We came here dominating as we did.
Talk about this domination, defensively, offensively. I mean, this was Alabama's game the entire way.
We laid out a plan. The coach laid out a plan for us, and we did the plan. So that's what happened. We played tougher, and we dominated for longer than they did. That's what we did.
You started this season in Atlanta, now you're going to end it in Atlanta. How excited are you to go be playing Georgia, an SEC matchup in the national championship game?
I'm just excited as I was for this game. When we get prepared, that's the same. You know, last year after the national championship game, the players, Hunter Renfrow, you lied about it, something about keeping me up. That was a lie. But I thank him, and I thank Dabo Sweeney for all the ammunition they gave his team to come get right in this game, in this playoff. I thank them for the ammunition they gave us. I thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. You needed all the ammunition.
So, immediate reactions, and then the second part of that question too. I love the energy, man. I love that video. Please tell me did we ever find out what he lied about? I'm not gonna lie, I'm still trying to find out what he lied about.
Oh my gosh. I think, bro, that's so funny. That might be the first time I've watched that, like, in maybe, bro, 8 years. Maybe like it's definitely 5 years plus. I've not seen that whole clip in a long time. It's very
I wish the quality was better for you. If I knew that, I would have found it better.
I'm gonna go. I have her Twitter. I'm gonna go and ask her. She probably has that in good quality for sure. Because she gained a lot of followers after that. She should have paid. But anyways, my immediate reaction is almost like a big smile on my face because it's like a timestamp. It's like a timestamp of a moment that was so impactful in my like competitive career as an athlete that I'm glad that it has a visual there for it. Like, so to speak on what he lied about. So I'm in the interview. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute, okay? Tony, give me a minute, okay? Come on. All right. So Hunter Renfrow, right? There was an article out. I remember this because if you guys remember the 2016 national championship game, we lost in the last play. Oh my gosh, heartbreaking in real life heartbreak. The biggest heartbreak was
Listen, it was a pick play without a doubt. Listen,
I know, but I'm just saying the actual loss in itself in the 2 seconds. I'm like, oh my gosh, we had the penalty. They got the ball on the 2-yard line. Then
it happened
was like,
quick, bro.
oh my gosh. So that loss at the Natty, I'm like, bruh, I thought I would never get an opportunity. Now I got to load y'all up to why that was such an awesome moment. We lost that game the year before. Now we have the next year of the playoffs. We lost that year to who did we lose to early in the season?
We lost to Auburn at the in the season finale.
Okay, yes,
The regular season, final regular
right,
season game.
right. We lost to Auburn. Then Auburn lost to Georgia in the SEC championship, I believe. Right?
I think so, yeah.
So then we got in the playoffs before Auburn, right? So it was, we didn't know that we would ever even get a chance to be in the playoffs one, and Clemson had to be good again the next year as well. So it just so happened that Clemson was good, that we made it into the playoffs, that we just skidded in because Auburn, and then didn't Auburn lose by like a crazy tip pass or something? Like, it wasn't it like that? Am I remembering it correctly?
I don't even remember. I just know that the whole odds were just stacked against us, and we were praying that we would get that final spot because that was the only year, Tony, that we didn't get to play in the SEC championship game. I mean,
we had back-to-back rings.
Yeah, until that year. And so our hope was we have to get that fourth spot.
Yes.
I don't even remember what happened with them, but I know we got that fourth spot, and we made up our mind as a team, like they're gonna have to see us now. Like they messed up.
And then
we got paired up with Clemson. Yeah.
We got Clemson. Oh my gosh, we got Clemson at the same place we lost. So no, we don't. No, we don't. But we did lose. We did lose to Oklahoma in New Orleans at this place. We stayed in a different hotel. That's another story though. But we did lose to Oklahoma here. But not Oklahoma, Ohio State, our freshman year. So
yes.
Right, so that happens. So now we get to play Clemson again. They have most of the same players. Oh my gosh, we got the opportunity to play these guys. It's over with for them, right? So then we dominate them. Great game for Bama. And Simone Ellie, I think that's her name. She just happens to find me. I'm fuming. I'm obviously fuming. We're fresh off the dub. I can barely breathe. I don't know where my helmet is right here. I'm wiping sweat. This current sweat. This may be not even 5 minutes after the victory. I don't even know how she finds me. And this obviously wasn't scripted. This was just where my brain immediately went on, like, this is a year of emotions of, I had to watch the confetti fall on my head on ESPN for 60 days. I had to watch them do me like that for so long. I had to watch them do all these Clemson, Tombstone. I had to watch his interviews, and I did watch them too. I watched all the interviews, and that's why. And I read a lot of newspaper clips because the type of athlete I was. I wanted to really, really feel the burn, like, so I could feel it when I'm working out. So there was a clip where, an article where Hunter Renfrow said that, we were going back and forth in a sense, and that he apologized to me for something that went on during the game. And that was cap. That was big ball cap. And I remember when I read the statement, I'm like, bro, why he lied like that in my brain? So that's how I registered in my brain. Why he's a liar? And then, y'all want to okay. So now the opportunity comes, I'm talking. I'm like, you know what? And he lied. Like in my brain, like, and he was lying, and he a liar too. So we came and bust y'all up like we wanted to. We got our lick back like we wanted to. And LeBron lied. And Lil Hunter Renfrow lied. So it was like it 10x emotion. So I probably could have articulated it much better, but like the emotion just made it come out to, and he lied. And he did lie. It is circa 2021, 2020. Me and Renfrow are on the Ravens team together. I have Hunter Renfrow's number. We're pretty cool. So it's all everything is under the bridge now. But yeah. That was that situation.
Man. No, that's amazing. Let's do this. Perfect time. We got to catch back up on a break. We'll do that. We come back. We'll have a couple minutes. So just for our radio listeners, me and Tony are going to continue on our stream. I know he's got some stuff he's got to do, so I'm not going to hold him too long, but there's stuff we got to get to in terms of what he's doing now. That's really important. So we come back. We'll hit a couple minutes. Then we'll have to close things out on the radio. But everybody on the stream, stay still, stay tuned. We're going to keep going here. Then radio listeners, if you want to continue the interview with us, come join us on the Miller's Edge live stream right now. And you can do that just then. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
We'll go get him. Hey, see, look athletic.
Huh?
I can have my setup look aesthetically. The white wall, just a little setup.
Nah, it looks good. I'm telling you.
Your flagship home.
Yeah, it looks solid. I'm gonna mute your thing on here, so you're good. Do your thing. All right, good deal, man. Man, this is fun. And like I told you guys, man, I put it in. Hey, you good? I muted your mic. You're good. You're good. Take care of what you got to do. I put in Tony's ear, man. I think he's got a gift for doing some of this media stuff, man. So hopefully we can try to get him to do some podcast stuff. And by the way, another update too for you guys. I talked with Slade this morning. I think he's wrapping up his stuff that he was handling overseas, and so we're back ready to roll with that as well. Just got to capitalize. All right, perfect, Reed. Yeah, I'll get out quick, and we'll just transition over here. But yes, so we're back in full swing with Slade as well. So I'm excited. We're getting that all situated. Still got to come up with a good name. So if you guys got those names, redrop them, and I'm gonna write them down. I forgot from last stream. I didn't get them written down. But that will be coming, though. Me and Slade will definitely be doing our podcast. And then we'll see what we can come up with. Tony, I know I was pitching for him to do something with Blade. And if they needed me to help mediate, do some stuff like that, moderate, whatever you want to use the term, cool. If not, I want them to even do something on their own. So we'll see if we can do that. But still, we'll definitely get Tony on here to do some more stuff as well. Richard Sherman 2.0 interview. That's funny. He got caught on a hot mic moment, really mad about something. Hey, but you gotta, like he explained, man, like that. Talk about the emotion, man. Like Tony didn't share this then, but like I mean, Tony definitely he took that Clemson L, from the year prior in the national championship game. I mean, that was tough on him, man. He's right there. He can explain it for you. And so being able to come back the next year and play those guys and get that like revenge, right? I mean, from his perspective, I mean, it made perfect sense. You, Ruben, and Tony together would be great. Yeah, well, like I said, Tony and Rashawn, Ruben too. I told Ruben on here, man. Ruben needs to do some stuff too. But my goal is, and it's not about me. It's just I've been fortunate. I've been doing radio and broadcasting for a couple of years now. My goal is to help, if they want to get in that space, help them, however I can, because I know they'll be great at it too. And it's just a great outlet. I know how it's been great for me when you're not playing the sport anymore, to share stuff and be able to connect with you guys. So I'm just trying to just help navigate some stuff. But no, if we can get Tony and Rashawn doing some stuff.
It's not no if. It's going to happen. If these are the fans listening, don't worry. I'm telling you guys now, it's 2 more guys that I want to get penciled in. I'm not going to say everyone's name just yet. Or actually, I could hint at the name.
You could drop a hint. Wait, Reed, are we back yet, Reed? My bad. I didn't even realize I wasn't paying attention.
No,
we're back.
Good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, because it's when the fans know who the roommates were, they're going to be like, no way, right? So, like, the roommates was me, Rashawn Evans, Marlon Humphrey, and Deshaun Hand, right? And so I really want to get us on there. Those personalities on there, I think that would be awesome for the fans to just hear those personalities together, because, like, it was actually a roommate.
Yeah, and you know who was below you guys was me. So yeah. I wasn't in the room. I didn't live with them, but I might as well, as much as I got to hear. That being said, all right, we're back on radio. All right, we got a couple minutes here, and then, like I said, we're going to shift to just fully over on the stream just because I know we need to get Tony's got stuff he's got to do. I feel bad we're taking a minute, but this is really good content. It's great stuff. But I know we got to hit some of these important topics that I want to talk about as well. That being said, for the last couple minutes for our radio listeners, you gave us a story about Coach Saban, your time here. You want to give us a quick little I want to dive into these stories. I want to ask you are going to take too long for 2 minutes. We're not going to be able to hit it on
I can just let me know because I can come on next week. I can come on in a few days, but I can just touch on things like just based off of how you asked the question, and I can go into more depth in them because I know the story of this that obviously is the.
I have to ask you about that. I can't let you go until you give me some more detail. I've been keeping up with the Instagram posts and trying to learn, but I need to hear it from you. This is what we'll do. Reed, you can go ahead and I'll close out here via radio. I'll hang out with Tony on the stream for another 10 minutes or so, however long he's got. And then if we don't get to finish on our stream today, we got plenty of time. Maybe we'll just make Tony a guest and get him to come on here like once a week or something, just chop it up. Because I know you guys love his energy, man. Everybody's talking about they love it. All right, so let's do this. For our radio listeners, big thanks to you guys as always. You guys know the drill. Check us out on our YouTube channel at The Miller's Edge, on Facebook as well, at Tide 100.9 where we stream. We're going to continue here. The interview's not done just yet. So if you guys want to continue that, which I'm sure you do, come check it out at The Miller's Edge on YouTube. And we'll continue here. Tony, got something for the radio listeners real quick before we get out of here?
Thank you guys for listening. Crazy Tony Brown. I go by the Apex now. In another segment, we'll talk about that. I am currently a free agent, still training, being prepared and staying ready to get in the NFL. So send all good wishes my way, positivity my way. I've also just put out my debut single, Health is Wealth, on Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. If you go to any of these places and type in the AP3X, Health is Wealth, it'll come up. Just briefly, Health is Wealth is an idea that I'm promoting as a man, as a brand. That's what I live by. Anybody who knows Tony, Crazy Tony, or Apex knows that I've always been somebody that takes good care of my body, and that's always something that I've heard near and dear to me. And as I've gone throughout my athletic process and became an elite athlete, I've amassed a lot of knowledge about how to take and maintain the body. And I've learned that through music you can articulate messages in a way that can reach people that you wouldn't normally reach with just words. So to all the Bama fan listeners, thank you guys. Roll Damn Tide. Appreciate y'all for y'all support over the years. Appreciate you for your continued support. Hope you have a blessed day.
Absolutely. Love that. That being said, we're going to still be on the stream for a little bit. So hang out with us at the Miller's Edge. But for all you guys on the radio, we'll see you guys tomorrow right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. All right, Tony, how much time you got?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. My son's up there. He's chilling. I'm good. Let's just went to the, yeah, I'm good.
All right. Because I was about to say, and we can save some of it, but I definitely want to hit on those topics.
Yeah, like I said, we can say and we can spread this out more.
It's what you want to do. It's what you want to do.
We can spread this out more if you want to. I know that because I know the trip to Africa that would be a whole one of these.
So you think that's gonna? So all right. So we.
No, I don't think. I know.
You know,
I did it before. You see what I'm saying?
All right. So
I had to sit down and actually speak about it, and like I
think we played that on the. Did you do some with NFL Network or something?
I did more than football, but I also did an article where that was like my words. So and then I couldn't even be as detailed as I wanted to with that as I would like to be. And it's like a movie. Like I'm filming a movie behind this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot because it'll be like the movie will be like a pilot it'll be the pilot episode for a series of short films where I go into different countries and I take a few people, like a few athletes in different cultures, different pieces, and I take them and we go to different parts of the world and we experience it. And it'll be like a trap series because I was trapped in Ghana based on the story that I'll tell you. I was trapped in Ghana. I lost my passport, but the experience there changed my life. And the initial movie will be me recreating that whole everything that I went through. I'm gonna recreate it and get it filmed, and then it'll be like a kind of like a Blue Planet, but like for countries that people don't really know a lot of information about, or that I believe should. You know what I mean? So like that it's a lot behind that for sure.
Dang. Well, here I'll offer this to you now. I don't know if you know this, but I've got myself. I'm fluent in Spanish now. I spent the last 2 years learning Spanish.
Okay, I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. Huh?
I'm gonna send you. You know, I like to hint stuff too. This is gonna be cool. So I didn't know Bad Bunny was gonna be performing at the Super Bowl, right? Bad Bunny performing. You know Bad Bunny?
Of course, I know Bad Bunny. Sí, conozco a Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny is gas, right? So
Yeah.
in my music career, I wanted to find my sound. I tried all of some of my favorite artists' beats and songs to see what I could do. Bad Bunny is one of my favorite Latin artists, right? So I have a remixed Bad Bunny song, and I have another Spanish song called No Inglés, right? So I might actually do something with the it's called Bad Little Bunny is my song. And I'm gonna send it to you, Sunil, when we get off. But it's gonna be
do
awesome. I might actually record a video for that because like everybody that I've heard listen to it, one, it's like there's this thing where like that's not you. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I'm telling you, like that's me, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I didn't check that out. No, that's crazy. No, I didn't know that. But nah, shoot, maybe you need to take it up. I mean, if you want to make music and you travel to some of these countries, I don't know. If you ever want to learn a language, dude, I'll show you what I used and learn and how I learned. It's quite the process. But honestly, man, it's definitely possible. Like, I mean, I would say I'm definitely like B2. Like I can have a conversation. I'm about close to where
I can hear if you just slow it down. Just slow it down, and I can. And I'm
you
good
understand
at
a little bit.
Well, I'm good at context clues too. It's like it's this weird thing where like, because I've traveled, I kind of know how to talk to people and hear and understand what they're saying without even really knowing what they're saying. Like let's just say, okay, we at a restaurant, right? And I'm like, yo, where's the restaurant? Like, if I heard what they said, I could be like, okay, they saying that's the restaurant over there, that's the restaurant over there. I can hear directions and I can make it out like for the most part. Because Spanish is one of the languages where like, luckily, like some of the words sound like English. Like if you listen well enough, it's just they connect them all and how it sounds. The dialect makes it seem like they're all like, but if you can slow it down, like, oh, okay, that I know that means that. Then that has to be that because they wouldn't say that because you know what I'm saying. So
no, you know what's crazy? There's a lot of rules. A matter of fact, I don't have the book on me though, but like literally any word in English that ends with an AL is the same in Spanish. It's just you pronounce it differently. Any word that ends with trying to think of some other ones. There's a lot of rules like that, so there's carryover. But you're right. Forming the sentences is probably the hardest part because they do things a little different. Sometimes it's almost like backwards, so it gets a little confusing.
A lot of the time.
Yeah. So like if I wanted to say like like if I'm talking about like a pencil, I could say like I gave it to him. It would literally be like him, it, I gave.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Like it literally be like c'est la vie. Like that literally means like to him, it, I gave. It's so when you're trying to put all that here and you listen to somebody and they're speaking fast and then you're trying to it can be a little bit.
You said you gave what? I hear gave you. All right, you gave it to him.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna save the Africa story because I need to hear that and I think that would be good. But then I won't hold you up too long. Tell me about it, or tell everybody listening to real quick about the music. I know you just mentioned it. And I'll play it on here. We ain't gonna get copyrighted. You ain't got no label or anybody that's gonna strike us down.
I got my own publishing company. You can definitely play it. It's already released now.
You scared me, man. We got hit with some copyright stuff playing game tape. So now I'm like nervous, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't think so. I know
be good.
I have my own publishing company and I have it like I'm registered on BMI, so any plays will come by me. I won't copyright you guys. This is what I mean. But to speak on the music, I started making music this year. Seriously, I mean it really wasn't seriously. It just I did it a lot this year. I went in the studio towards the end of the season. I got into battle rap and If anyone has an Instagram, I can follow me on Instagram at tmb.ap3x and on Twitter at tnb_ap3x and on TikTok only one ap3x. But my music career started off with battle rap. I was battle rapping. I love battle rap, which is just spoken word. Last year, Amari Cooper was on the Browns, right? And Amari Cooper is an avid fan of battle rap, and he actually is pretty good at it. I
He
never
likes
tried to
poetry
battle
too,
rap.
don't he?
Yeah, I never
Yeah, I was about
tried
to say.
battle rap. So when I was there in camp, we was all hanging out like we doing training camp after practice. He started battle rapping, and I was like, "Yo, that's fire!" But I couldn't do it well. But he started talking to me, battle rapping to me. I'm like, "Oh man, I got nothing." Like, but I tried though, and I was buns, cheeks, right? But he challenged me, right? And see, Miller tell you, the group that we had at Bama for whatever 4 years he was there, from 14 to 18, like that was a group of guys that thrived off competition. And like we all have, like, no matter if like something happened between us or Wudu, or I haven't seen him in 10 years, there's this like level of respect that we all have for each other because of what we did and what we accomplished. And like what I'm getting to is like, all right, if I could not have seen C Mill in 10 years, and then I see C Mill and we're doing something, and I'm like, man, C Mill, you know you better than that in whatever regards. Or let me put it back in my put the ball in my court. C Mill can say, Tony, bro, you better than that. Like I thought you was, in my brain, it would activate the competition of like, you right, like my brother saying that, like it means something that he's saying that you know what I'm saying? So like when Coop said that, I'm like, bro, you right, bro. Like it was like a competition, like oh, he challenged me, right? It was a good challenge. He challenged my brain. He's like, yeah, I know you was intelligent, bro. You can't put no words together. So then I go home, I start writing thousands of bars, like a lot of bars. I'm coming to the vicinity. I got bars off the hip, like, oh, what's your name? Gloria. You glow, I'll read. So I was having plenty bars for whoever wanted to hear them, right? Me and Coop actually was supposed to battle. It was gonna be the biggest thing ever. Like we was gonna record and get it set up because that's how
Y'all
good
need
we
to
got.
do a stream with it. Y'all need to start
So
streaming and do
I
a
just saw
stream.
we might actually do that. So like we were supposed to battle at the end of the year, and it was gonna be on record. We was gonna have the whole team there because we both had fans. Like he had fans on the team, I had fans. Like, nah, Pace gonna take this, or hey, Coop gonna take it, right? So he ended up getting traded at the end of last year. If you guys remember, he got traded, so we never got to battle. But there was another player, JK, on the team that he's a musical artist, JK. At the end of the year, he's like, TB, come in the studio, bro. You got all these bars. If you can rap, you can sing or whatever. So I go in there, first song, fire. Couldn't believe it. Sounded good. My voice sounded good. I didn't know how it would sound. There's this thing where I don't know how it would sound. I don't know. It sounded good. So from there, I'm like, dang, I love making music, bro. I was able to go to the studio. I was blessed to be able. One moment. I was blessed to be able to go to the studio whenever I wanted at the time. So it turned into therapy for me, like being able to say whatever I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it. Then I realized I can like reprogram my brain with what I wanted to say via music. Because music is just vibrations, and you can hear a certain type of music and feel a certain type of way. This is facts. I can hear gospel music and feel more calm. I can hear Metallica and feel more raised. I can hear harp strings and feel like fluttery. Like there's like music does that. And so I realized that I can hear my own self speak and say certain like goals, or I can create myself in a way and paint myself in a way that gives me
Great
confidence.
affirmations.
Right. And I can hear it all the time, like music. So that turned into that. And I just like, I only got 300 songs now. And I started recording the end of February.
300?
Yeah. And
Damn.
so I'm just recording. And like Health is Wealth, which is a song that I've dropped 10/17, maybe 2 weeks ago now, a week ago now, 10 days ago. That may have been my 100th song that I did. And I remember when I made it, I was in Florida. It wasn't a song that I wrote. It was a song that I did bar for bar. So like I came I'm so non-GMO. I don't want this girl no more. And then after that, like I got into like that was my first bar of the song. It was like a nice vibe. I'm listening to the beat. I'm like, yo, I got a vibe on this. And then for whatever reason, that's when my brain went, I'm so non-GMO, I don't want this girl no more. And so that is in like health, right? GMO organic. So that's what the song ended up being about. And then as I got past the first verse, I'm like, it's so I wish I would have recorded the session, and I might actually do a video like
Wait. So are you writing the songs first? Like, so what's the process? You hear the beat first, and then you start writing, or okay,
so
all right.
there's three different ways. It's one, I have an idea that I'm gonna make this a song, and then I'll go see which beat matches the idea of the song. An idea meaning, I want to write about I want it to be a pain. That's the idea. I want it to be about love, relationship, or sports, or attaining something. That's an idea type of song. Then you got the vibe songs where I'm in the studio. I'm like, hey, producer, let me hear a beat, let me hear some beats. And then whatever word I hear in the beat, that's what I start to say in the song. Then you got songs where I have the whole beat and I'm writing the whole song to the beat. So there's three different ways where I make music. Health is Wealth was one. I didn't write nothing. I just heard the beat and then went in like that.
That's hard. No, that makes sense. No, I played it on the show not long ago. I get here. I got it pulled up right here. But while I do that, let me ask you a couple questions I wanted to get to earlier. NIL real quick. We didn't have it. If we had it, who's the first brand you're signing with? Who was Tony Brown inking the deal with if we had NIL when we were in school?
Nike.
I guess that's a probably easy one for you. Track star.
What?
Big-time athlete.
Nike, no question. And then, well, let me really, because I do love the theoretical situations. I love because I can get in them. Let me really get in it. Give me one moment to really get in it. If I was NIL, I'm coming out of high school.
No, I mean that's a good. I mean, I think that's very
I
fitting
know, but
for you.
I want to really want to think about it because it would be Nike. Because in my brain, 100% Nike. I'm trying to sign NIL.
I can see you doing some like health, like you said, health as well. Some health organic thing, maybe hair products for sure. Hair products.
NIL.
I mean, you kind of had the Palomalu flow.
100% hair products, and I'm having my own hair product, the Truth Serum, coming here soon.
Bro, I mean, damn, man, you gotta say something for something. Tony got all the ideas. You got movies coming out.
These not ideas. These are this is real life. Yeah. But it's like
it's tough.
Well,
I got my hair too now. I need some of the products.
I know that. That's how it should be though. You gotta have, and to all the listeners out there that are wanting to be entrepreneurs or wanting to be self-sufficient, in order to be self-sufficient, you have to have multiple streams of income, and however you can create that is how you can create that. I have been able to develop my own brand where I can develop products and market them in a way that I can facilitate certain things that are to my strong suit. Hair care is just to my strong suit. So I ain't taking everything. I'm just taking what I can get. I'm
give you a hard time.
I'm playing the hand I got. Texas Hold'em. I got an ace. I got something I'm putting in my hand, man.
No, I'll just give you a hard time. That would definitely, Nike hair product. I think you definitely probably.
It would have to be a car. I definitely would like, because I had my dad's truck, but I would want to like. I know then young Tony, man, let me get fast. It would be like some type of fast car deal, crazy fast. Like, no way TV got Corvette. I'm vet. I want to become vet. Like, sign with Corvette or something like that for sure.
I bought a C8 Corvette, and I love that. I don't know how I sold it though. I sold it for the market dipped again because I bought it when it's stickered like, and they upped the MSRP on it or whatever. They're overcharging it. And I sold it though because I didn't want to lose too much on it. But that was loved it, man. That CH tough. That's tough. Are you a fan of NIL though? Like, seriously, like, do you like? What are your thoughts on that? And the reason I ask you this because I know obviously we got a lot of fans that talk about it and they're asked a lot for it. Then, well, I get a lot of times. I want your thoughts on this too, real quick. A lot of time they immediately go, "Well, man, all them NFL guys we got." All those former Bama guys in the NFL, they need to contribute. And I immediately tell them, like, I don't think you guys understand, man. We didn't get that. So they're not going to be so quick to want to go. People got family. You got a son. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for somebody to say, oh, well, I'm going to turn around and just write checks back to the school when I wasn't getting that opportunity. What are your thoughts on NIL in general? I mean, I know, like, for me, like, it's not like I don't hate it. at all. I mean,
I'll
I
go the
think we
pros.
deserve it, but it's a little out
I'll
of
give the
control.
pros first and then the cons. There's pros and cons to everything. The pros are that there's a huge pool of money that's being made off of players that we were not privy to and that we did not have access to. That I do believe that, in all fairness of business, and because the business of football is such a multi-billion-dollar business, trillion-dollar, if you add college and NFL and international scale, probably trillion-dollar business. I believe that in all fair and warfare, that there should be a portion of that goes to the players, being that they are the entertainment, they are what is bringing in the money, the viewers, and so that's a pro. I think that they should be getting a piece of it in a formal way or fashion. The
Right.
cons that me as a player I see that I've seen with NIL, for some reason, my brain, now that I think about it, like NIL and the portal, they kind of are like in the same bucket to me a little bit. That's not true. No, the little package. Yes, that's not true. But I think it takes away a little bit from the the underlying emotion that involves, or the intensity that it involves, making decisions where money is not involved.
Right.
NFL, the difference between college football and NFL football was that there was a level of love that you could see in watching the game, that you could feel in going to the games. There was a level of like, yo, it's a level of passion that can't be copied because it's not for money. Some guys
Right.
may have been getting paid, but that's neither here nor there. There was no way for people to be getting paid money for real. So there
Right.
was this real level of passion that came with, yo, I'm trying to get this to be able to go do something.
Right.
That is kind of taken away from the game now because players are getting 30, 40,000 a month. Like, and so it's like, can they still have that passion to want to go get it when they're getting it? Some guys can, but more often than not, I don't believe that you can. I believe that there's a level of comfort that comes with getting a lot of money for what you're doing, and it can't be copied whenever you're trying to go get it. So that's
Right.
a concern to me with NIL. I feel like it took a little bit of the passion and the aesthetic of passion that was a key thing that made college football Saturdays different from Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays. And now I then kind of blended in where it's like a little more Hollywood. It's like a little more Hollywood. It's like a little more stardom as it relates to money. Stardom and as being a college player was different. Now it's like stardom with money. So it's like a different level of like college player, a different like swag. It's a different, and I'm not saying it's bad. I just believe that it's a con as far as like how it feels.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you. And I like what you said. That's why when they're like, oh, because right now, well, before the revenue sharing, I mean, it was really just, oh, people donating, fans, this, that, and the third. And I agree with you. Like, I mean, all these people making money off of it. Why doesn't it come from that? Why are we asking fans for more? Why are we saying, oh, former players need to donate? Like that to me didn't register, right? Let the NCAA and all these people profiting, let them, fork up the money, which now they're starting to a little bit. But no, that's a great point, man. Tony, I don't want to keep you too long. Let's do this. Let's plan to do a part two. Let's plan to do a part two.
We can do a part. It's gonna be a part 12. I'm telling you, I'm
well,
telling
I mean,
you.
no, I mean, I want to get you on here once a week just to talk ball and talk whatever comes up if you're free to do that. I know you're training and stuff. If we can make that work, we definitely do that. But I definitely want to do like a part two of this because I need to hear the story about the Africa trip.
Yes,
I need to hear it. Then I know you talk about doing some more like the health and fitness stuff outside, and maybe I don't want to spoil too much. I definitely want to learn more about that and break that down. Thoughts on Bama? Wait, I think they had a typo. I think somebody just wanted to know your thoughts on Bama and the defense this year. If you just wanted to throw that out there real quick. I know you've been busy, so you.
No, my thoughts on Bama defense this year. I think there's always room for improvement. I think that because I'm a player, I hate to speak or make inferences uninformed. I do
Right.
not know the defense that these guys are running. I do not know exactly which coverages they're in.
Right.
So I cannot make a completely informed decision. But being that C Mill's my guy, and I'm going to be here more often, whatever fan that was, I'll have a better, more informed answer for you the next time that we're on the show.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, no. Let's do this. Let's plan for a part 2. We'll get together and figure that out, but we'll run it back at least to kind of put a bow on this whole thing, because I know there's a lot of meat left on the bone, and then we need to get together, and if I can help you guys out, whatever you guys got planned, I know you want to draw some stuff up with room. Wait, we were 203. Where were y'all?
Yeah, it was 303. I think, but actually it was 304. It wasn't 303. It was 304. I think it was 304.
Because we were 203.
Oh, it's 303 then. It's 303.
Maybe might be 303. I don't know. I mean, you know better than me. It was your room, brother. You going in and out of it.
It's 303 for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I know we were 203.
It's 303.
See, y'all are lucky. I can't. I mean, Keith's got a whole family now. J-Mo's coaching, so he wouldn't be able to hop on here. Keith's coaching too. My room basically turned into a bunch of coaches, man. So, damn. But yeah, no, y'all definitely need to. Y'all need to set that up, bro. That y'all had probably the most.
And then I can already see like the logo for like the threes and backwards. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
We all heard him. So Tony's already kind of getting his brain going on that. So obviously you guys enjoyed Tony on here. So if you guys make sure you stay. Yeah, I got you. You can try to jump out and jump back on if you need to.
Here we go.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys haven't already, man, hit that like button. We always appreciate that. We'll get Tony back on here. Maybe we'll try to aim for like maybe next week or something, or whenever you're free.
We can do next Wednesday.
Yeah, let's do it. So we can do that. We'll plan for another week. We'll do next Wednesday, and then we'll wrap this one up, and then we'll get some stuff going in the future for sure. Whether it's helping him out, get that going, or having him just jump on here every now and then, just for the hell of it, just to chop it up, man. You definitely need either podcast stream or something. I promise you, it will intertwine everything else you're doing, and you got the personality. I got you. You got to do it.
Let me
make it happen.
All right, text me a checklist of things I got to get, and I'll because I just got my brand, so I got my brand now. I don't even know if I need a name for it. I know that I can name it too. You know what I mean? Like my own joint, as far as my own, for sure.
Bro, I mean, sure, you can get your little Blue Yeti mic like this. I mean, and use whatever computer that you have. Honestly, I mean, get you a camera, like an HD camera. Honestly, it's $200 and you should be squared away, bro. I mean,
okay.
It's easy, but I'll send you all that stuff. We'll get it set up because I know these people love it, man. They want content. They want to hear from all the guys, man. And you're definitely one of them.
I got a lot to say.
Yeah, you do. You do. You got a lot of wisdom. Hey, TB, I appreciate you, bro. All love, bro. We'll plan on next Wednesday. If anything comes up, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Listen, thank you, C-Man.
Yes, sir. Always, bro. Love. All right, guys in the chat, we appreciate you guys as always. We'll be back here tomorrow per usual, right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll plan on doing more of this too, getting more guys on here. And I'm going to keep putting it in their ear to trying to get them in this space as well. Because, again, I think with our experience, like Tony was saying, man, like might not have realized at the time, but, I mean, it's a special period, man. You're talking about the greatest dynasty of college football probably ever. And we're all really close. We're all really, tight-knit. And there's so many personalities through the years. It's one thing when you have, like, somebody just do, like, one interview, cool. But I think, like, forming, like, a whole bunch of content revolving around this stuff, man. It's just, it's cool, man. And I enjoy it. That's why I told Tony, like, if I can help him get that going in any way, man, I'd be glad to. So we'll plan on running it back next Wednesday because I got to get into the whole Africa story and stuff because as you guys saw the attire, it's definitely a meaningful thing for Tony. And there's definitely a big story behind it. Plus, oh, yeah, me and Slade. I'll let you guys know more details on that, but me and Slade will be more of like a twice a week podcast deal. that we've got coming. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys dropped any names for that, let me see real quick before I get out of here. I think I saw a couple of them. I'll go back and search through here. But again, yeah, we'll get that going. And I don't know, maybe we'll end up knocking the episode out or something this week. Nameless, whatever the case. I'm going to call him as soon as I get off of here, and we'll get that set up. But appreciate you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.